Welcome to another video. This time we're looking at the Manufacturers Series Round 5, happening at Sardegna, Track C in the Group 4s. 19 players in the lobby, and once again I'm at the back of the pack in terms of DR rating at the start of this race. Jumping straight into the qualifier, we are on racing softs. We'll try to set a fast lap. This is actually my second lap. I set a lap before in 75 seconds, 0.0. I was held up, so I'm trying again. In the training, I was able to do a 56.0, but during these conditions, it's always a little bit tricky to match that. So anything under 56.5 for me would be completely fine. The corner that's coming up is a tricky point. I find it difficult to find a good line, brake in time, and turn the car without braking too much, because this is the Mercedes and it will completely spin around if you're not careful. We set a 56.7, which is not really a fast time, but in this grid I'm 5th. We're changing now to the hard tires, as the hard tires are required for this race. We don't need to pit at all. We can just go all the way in the hards and expect them to last as well. I'm always trying to make sure I double check my settings. Brake balance all the way to the back, otherwise your front tires will completely degrade over the course of the race. And we are off. I'm trying to just tuck in the slipstream straight away and try to remember that your tires are cold at the start of the race. These are hard tires, take a lap or two to heat up. Therefore, braking is a lot less efficient, and you have to be very, very careful to not slide off. I nearly binned it here. I had to brake a lot after the apex, which means now I've lost toe already. It's not looking too good. The guy behind me is coming in close into my rear view mirrors, and hopefully I can do a few corners that actually makes up a bit of time. The guy behind me made a little mistake, I guess, because he's now over a second behind, and I'm actually catching up to the pack in front. While we are about to finish lap 1 out of 25, the leader of the pack is already 2.6 seconds ahead. Looking at the strategy guides online, it looked like some of the FR cars might start on softs. So in this particular case, I'm hoping that the leader starts on softs while a person slides into the gravel, and we make up a position, and we are now in 4th. Take that corner way too small, way too tight, but luckily don't spin out. And now we might have dirty tires, so we have to be extra careful in the braking zone, especially this braking zone coming up, where we don't want to overshoot the corner and end up in the barrier, as number 2 almost did. Now it's time to get my head down. I'm 1.3 seconds behind the guys in front of me. They are clearly fighting, so that helps and would prevent them from driving away from me. If they would work together, they could completely drive away from me, and I would have no chance of catching them. However, they are fighting. They don't want to give up the position to each other, although the race is still 22 laps to go. At this point, once again, they go very wide, which is not necessarily bad, I guess, because it allows you to keep a bit more speed. And while we are finishing lap 3, the leader of the pack is now 4 seconds ahead, and we really need to make sure he doesn't get away too fast, because the pit stop is about 20-25 seconds here. So we need to make sure that we stay clearly within the 20 seconds of him. Otherwise, he might be able to overtake us in the end after he pits. That is, of course, assuming that he is on soft tires. In the meantime, we're making good progress on capturing number 2 and 3. The Mercedes goes slightly wide, touches the wall, and as a result, really slows down. Watch the guy in front, number 2. Number 2 is going a bit wide in this corner. He has the steering wheel turned, and as a result, his back will overtake him, and he almost spins out. He loses clearly a lot of time. We gain a position. So we're up in 3rd. Now watch the guy in front of me. He's going to outbrake himself. He might feel the pressure from me, which I hope is the case. He outbrakes himself, hits the wall, and as a result, we are in 2nd place, 6 seconds behind the leader. So with 5 laps under our belt, this is starting to look extremely good for us. Hoping that the person in front of us is on soft tires, which means now we just need to stick within the 20 seconds or make sure the gap doesn't get larger than 20 seconds. And as a result, we could go for a win here. My problems is that when the pressure is getting bigger, I tend to make mistakes, and this track is a good one to make mistakes because there's a few braking zones where if you go off you get into the gravel or in the wall, and there's a good chance of spinning where the WRX spun just before, so this race is far from over. Here you can easily touch the grass with 2 wheels, not a problem, as long as you're not in steering lock. Right, here I go. I brake, I feel the back sliding, you can see the car turning,
oh my
and as a result
God.
I have to really try to not spin completely. I come to a standstill, nothing I can do at this point, and I am back into 5th position. Luckily I am in the slipstream, and once again the guys ahead are fighting, which helps me to catch up. I take a line that is way too tight here. It's sometimes difficult to, well, I find it sometimes difficult to take the right line where, you know, you choose where to steer in, and that's like in Group 3, 4 cars particularly, they're so understeery, so you just, you know, once you choose to turn in, you just have to sort of hope that you're gonna make the corner. In this particular case, I steered in way too quick, way too early. I guess I have to work on my braking points and steering points. Being 6th now, there was a massive dive bomb from Blue Phoenix. Awesome that he made it stick. I was surprised that he actually was able to make it stick. I saw him coming in the rear view mirror. I thought he's gonna punt himself off, go into the gravel, but he made it stick, which is very impressive. Favorite braking zone again. I completely overshoot it. Luckily I didn't touch Blue Phoenix here. I lose another position back into 8th place with 9 laps done, actually, and starting just lap 10. It looked so good from the start where we were in 2nd and had clear air in front of us and behind us, and suddenly we are back into 8th, trying to catch up. We are now almost 20 seconds away from the number 1, and obviously it would be unlikely that all the guys in front of me would be on soft tires, so this is not looking good. However, it's still fun to drive, of course. This time I don't outbrake myself, hit the apex well, as we complete lap 10. Looking at the times, you can see that the last 3 laps have not been very good. luckily this lap is back into the 58.4 in this particular case, which is very comparable to the start of the race, which is where we want to be sitting. Either low 58s, high 57s. You can see tire wear is not really an issue, although you can see slight red marks coming into the tire indicators. But so far, this race is not really difficult on tires. While I completely go wide here, it's interesting that when you go very wide, as long as you don't steer, you can make the corner, as long as you don't hit the barrier that is slightly sticking out there, because that will bring you to a stop. We're 3.3 seconds away from the people in front of us. It's great to see he's setting personal best here, so the 3.3 is now down to 3. So we're catching them slowly. Back in the 57s, 57.8. By the way, if you see me making mistakes that I'm not talking about, can you please let me know in the comments, because this is very much about learning. So I'm reviewing these videos just to make videos, but also to review my own driving. I think it's something that we all should be doing. It's very good to look at it, not only about driving lines and braking, but also about how we race with other people. Sometimes when I'm in a race, I think, you know, someone hit me, but when you review it, you can actually see that they had no chance of not hitting you, and I think those things are good to see and to acknowledge. The guys ahead are driving very close to each other. Look at that, through the corner. It's quite difficult to do that well. At least I'm not very good at it. It's something I need to practice. Because while you're driving behind someone, obviously you can't see. You just can't see, and you just have to be careful not to hit the guy in front of you. So you have to brake a little bit earlier. You're faster because you're in a slipstream. It's all relatively complex, and I think that's what makes the game very challenging. Let's pay attention to the guys ahead. They're close to each other, they're too wide, and that's very difficult in that corner. So luckily he survived. He doesn't spin the car, but this guy went into the gravel, slow you down dramatically, and we make up a position just because of them fighting. So we're up in 5th with number 4 at 1.3 seconds ahead. We can see number 3. Number 1 and 2 are clearly gone, with now 18 seconds up to the lead, but I think he still has to pit. Actually, that wouldn't make sense, because if you are on soft tires, you're not going to pit at lap 20, you're going to pit at lap 10 or something when your tires are gone. So at this point in time, I'm also starting to realize that maybe the guy up front is either he's going to get a 1-minute penalty because he's on he's not using the required hard tires, but actually it'll be very challenging to drive 20 laps on soft tires, and therefore he must be on hard tires, which is extremely impressive. He's doing very, very well. We do have someone going into the pits. We make up a position, this is a bit strange. I don't think this is the best strategy. I don't know exactly what happened there, but being on soft tires for 21 laps, then have to go on hard tires, it's probably not the fastest. His tires must be completely worn at this stage. We're on a very short circuit, it's relatively likely to lap a car. You see that the car is ghosted, so that means you're not going to get slipstream from it, and you're not going to be able to get kicked off, which is good, and you're not able to kick them off, which is also good. It does blur your vision. It's like driving with the ghost on when you do your time trials, and I always turn my ghost off because I find it very annoying to have a ghosted car, you know, just in front of you. But you see, we're gaining on the Blue Phoenix in front of us. So hopefully in the last few laps we might have a bit of a battle here for the podium. Here through these corners it's really about shifting the weight in the car, and you notice when you have it right, it feels fantastic. In the braking zone here we both brake on the edge, going very well. I'm in a slipstream now, so hopefully either at the end of the straight or at the next lap there might be an opportunity to overtake. We're slowly gaining, but the straight is not long enough, so we cannot make an overtake here. We just have to brake in time, make sure we don't bin it, and keep following Blue Phoenix. Gaining a lot now. There's a chance that we might be able to outbrake in here. It's always tricky because once you're braking, exactly what I was thinking. It's so easy to punt someone off. Looking back, this is, like I completely outbraked myself, punted him off. I should have given the position back here. We'll see what's going to happen. I think this is the reason why reviewing is very good. He gives me a punt here, which is sort of well deserved, I guess, and he overtakes me, and as a result I also get overtaken by the Japanese guy who now is number 4 in his Scirocco. Last 2 laps, it's all happening now. This is where you get your elbows out and try to make up a few positions. Scirocco made his way in 3rd place. There's only half a lap to go, so chances are that we are going to finish 5th. The person behind me is more than 8 seconds, so even if we make a mistake, now we're probably not going to lose 5th position. But let's see what happens. As we go wide here, just managed to not bin it. Braking zone, big braking zone. I again punt Blue Phoenix. I'm really sorry for that. It's not my intention. He touches me a bit as well, which is fine. I get a penalty, which is well deserved. So Blue Phoenix therefore ends ahead of me, which is okay because I punted him off. He deserved to be 4th. So well done, penalty system. That's a rare thing to say. Anyway, we ended in 5th. Not a bad result. It was a fun race. The Group 4 Mercedes is is a bit of a boat to drive. Difficult to get around the corner. In the last turn, just before the straight, it's very easy to spin the car when you are slightly turning under braking. All in all, a fun race to do. So thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you in another video.